Last I checked, price gouging is supposed to be illegal. This is probably a water line or another gas line. That's water. They've got all the water containers in the back. It's crazy. Thankfully, we still have water at the hotel we're at, the Hyatt. They have an independent water filtration system that they're running on, and of course they told us to conserve it, which we are, but we still have water. So they've told us that we asked if it was potable. They said if you're from here and you're used to the water, actually it's gas line, it's mobile. They said if you're from here and you're used to the water, you should be fine drinking it. Since of course we are not from here and we're not used to the water, we kind of sparingly drink it. I've been drinking a bit more and more here and there. My stomach's been fine, so I'm not that worried. But you never know, in a day or two that could change. Yeah, it doesn't look as bad up here.
No.
It's surprising. Look at all that rubble back there. Oh my gosh. Just piles of rubble.
Buses with
School buses, with all the doors blown out, windows busted out. Jeez. Up here's the water place, so we've been up here before. That's where the water, Sparkle Clean, Water and Ice Company. They're packed.
It doesn't look bad.
It doesn't look as bad. There's still some damage. And of course, the worst part is this is the least populated side of the island. It's mostly farmland up here, quote-unquote farmland. They have sugarcane farms and that kind of stuff. Not a huge farming industry here at all. For those of you paying very close attention, on the very bottom of your camera, you'll see, or on the picture, you'll see that the hood is flexing. It appears someone decided to jump on the hood and take a picture before we ever got the car. And of course, the hood dented. If anybody knows, you sit on the hood of a car, it's going to dent it. So that's what that flexing is. It's quite annoying driving, and I'm sure it's annoying on the camera as well. There's some damage up here. Yeah. Oh, there's that new place that was opening.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a school up here.
That actually doesn't look too bad.
Yeah. So got all the Typhoon shutters closed.
Yeah.
Another gas station. Let's get that over. I see it. I see it. Dip and weave. That guy just pulled up to the side and kicked his flash wheel. That's annoying. People standing out of their cars, just hanging out. I'm assuming most of them are turning them off while they're waiting in line. All the cars look damaged here. It's crazy. One of the resorts that we actually, I don't remember which one it was, but they were telling a story about all the windows started shattering. And so then they started having the doors blow off, so everyone was trying to run out, run down their hallways and then downstairs because everything was shattering. And they were all running across all this broken glass. So they all got like their feet cut up and everything. I think there was 133 some people taken to the ER the night it happened. And they were actually saying typically around here most people don't go to the ER right away if they get injured, unless it's life-threatening. They'll basically try to get their house and their family stable or secure first. And so they usually expect 2 or 3 days after the event is when most of the injured people go to the hospital. So there is one hospital here. It's still fully operational. They have a surgery center. They have power, their own generator power. and all that. So they're still running. I believe last I heard from the governor's office, there was only one fatality. There was a lady trying to seek shelter in an abandoned building, and it collapsed on her. It's not as bad up here. I mean, there's roofs missing and stuff, but it's not the total destruction of power lines and everything.
This is probably, what, 4 or 5 miles from the island?
Yeah. We had the eye wall past the south side of the island. So yeah, up here we're 5 miles, 6 miles away from it. It's just crazy what that small difference in mileage or different or distance. That's the word I'm looking for. Words. I'm good with them. Well, I guess that pole's
that pole is broken in half.
That pole's broken in half. I'm really surprised how nice it is up here. Huh.
You still got all the trees that don't have any leaves on them.
Yeah.
Pink Mustangs.
Yeah, pink Mustangs are everywhere. It's totally an iconic American symbol. Yeah, all those houses in there are fine. They got roofs. Except for the ones that are sheet metal. Suicide Cliff and then Bonsai Cliff. I don't know which. It's this mountain, right? It's the tall stuff in front of us. I don't know exactly which point. You drive to the top and they've got signs and stuff, but so I don't know exactly where it was at. Come down here. And supposedly there's caves and all sorts of stuff in there. And it took months for even after the U.S. took the island that there were still people hiding in those caves. And there's stories that one of them there's like this little group. It almost reminds me of like. Braveheart? Not Braveheart. The other Mel Gibson movie, where he was Civil War. Patriot. Reminds me of the Patriot. Basically, the guys would come out of the jungle late at night, steal supplies, and kill people, and then sneak back into the jungle. And he ended up surrendering. And they had like an interpreter that every night would kind of stand at the edge of the forest and shout out stuff in Japanese to be like, hey, we're not going to kill you, surrender, we just want people to stop dying here type thing. But they had a whole bunch of people got killed by this. I guess there's a movie made about it and stuff. But yeah, no one's ever heard these stories in this island. I never had before I came here. Now, my teachers might have taught it to me, and I might have slept through it. There's always a likelihood that happened, but I don't remember it. I wonder if our cow's still up here.
Maybe.
There's a cow tied to a tree on the side of the road up here. We've seen him a few times.
Oh, yep, there he is.
Speak of the devil. There he is. Not a care in the world.
He's still tied to it.
He's still tied, but he just got plenty of grass to eat. These are all the touristy type monuments and all that fun stuff.
There's some damage.
There's some damage, but not terrible. And it might have just been like whatever way the wind was blowing. This was all protected from the mountains and all that. Well, there's trees uprooted. Maybe not.
I have a feeling once we get to the other side of the island,
yeah, once we wrap around. And of course, this road gets cleaned first because it's where all the tourists go. Heaven forbid we clean where the people live. Yeah, you can see all this been cleaned off the road. Because you can see the lines where they used to have to swerve to get around it. that top goes to landfill. We don't want there. We want suicide. It's kind of awkward. Just a sign that says suicide points this way. Used to say Suicide Cliff. This used to be an awesome, like, picturesque drive up here with beautiful, gorgeous trees overarching the road and everything. Yeah, it's kind of not here anymore. And the weird thing about, there's one of these trees up here, we'll see as we get further up. As the tree falls over, it continues to grow. They just grow straight up out of the trunk laying on the ground. And there was already some that had fallen over. So it's kind of a weird thing that, like, you see these trees right here. They've fallen over, but then they just keep growing straight up. So all of this, a lot of these trees will probably just lay here and they'll keep growing. It appears as if this is the end of the road. Or actually, you can go through. People are just stopping here.
Yeah, people are parking.
Yeah, but you can get around. Everybody just parks and sits there. That's because there's people coming the other direction and everybody's not letting anybody else go. I'm moving forward. Hey, get in the cars. Buddy, you're gonna back into that tree. He's going on through. And I just pulled over.
No, he's trying to go over the hill.
Be alright.
Nope, he's spinning.
All-wheel drive.
It's all-wheel drive.
These cars just need to come down. There we go. And we're good. Like nothing happened.
Great thing about four-wheel drive.
Yeah. It's probably good that I used, well, both my vehicles that I've had are four-wheel drive, so I'm used to driving with it. Kind of know what a vehicle can and can't do. Go to the top of Suicide Cliff, or do we want to continue on around to Bird Island? What do you think?